This past year, this was the first year that we operated a full-scale model of young teams up to the older teams. And it gives us that full range of the ability to work with children on a 12-month basis. And in years past, that was not the case. Now, this past year, this was the first time where we kept players in for a full year. It made just a huge difference for us in terms of what we saw the response for those players, how they reacted to being around a professional environment. We decided to make the change and go to 3 to 4 times per week. And that was a big difference for us. It was a big investment from the club. It was a big investment of not only the time involved from the coaches, but financially, getting more indoor training space, working with Highmark Stadium to make sure we had more space here, but just getting around those kids more and getting those kids immersed in the culture more. We're over 10 full-time staff members now. We have a director of goalkeeping in Hunter. We know now that in Western Pennsylvania, we're able to manage and grow a full model for youth. It's now been about how we add those little elements to make it special, make it different. And I think when you look at adding a facility like Cool Springs to what we've had in the past, and obviously having Highmark Stadium, and now the growth and development of what we're doing in the East in that market, the facilities are starting to complement, the staffs is starting to complement overall the philosophy that we've been trying to develop. When you look at the change that's starting to happen in U.S. soccer, and it's being led by Jurgen on the men's side and Jill Ellis and April Heinrichs on the women's side, but there's really an alignment now that's being structured behind the pro clubs that, look, this is a humongous country. There's so many youth soccer players playing. How do we identify the best talent? Let's put the trust into the pro clubs in this country, and let's try to push kids and funnel kids up through those pro clubs. The more we can lend our resources to the kids, the better off our entire organization will be, and the better off we'll bring more eyeballs into this area for every level of player. When we look at something like Super Y on the boys' side, we look at that as an opportunity to operate a platform of player advancement. So even though these are very young players that we're looking to work with, they're going to be mimicking what you see in a national team camp, where they're going to be brought into an environment where they're training with and playing with kids that they don't normally train or play with. They're going to be playing with older players, in some cases 2 years older. That's going to push players out of their comfort zone, and that's when we'll see how they respond. That's what a professional player or a professional playing prospect faces in their career. So when we look at the Super Y, that's how we look at that. It's a way to prepare players for the mentality required at the next level. Yeah, and a big focus for us in the way that our pro team works to mature players and advance them to the higher levels of the game, we want to do the same thing for the youth. So if that's spotlighting a young player from one of our teams and that player is a very special player, will it hurt our teams to move that player along to a higher level? Yes, but we're okay with that. And over the last few years, we've moved we have 8 players right now that are in MLS academies that have come through the Riverhounds. And we're very proud of that. And even though that makes an impact on the team in terms of their performance, it shows the other players on the team that the opportunity is there for them as well. And so if they raise their game, they will have that opportunity there for them. We can help with the networking and the ability to push that player on. The first stage for us when you look at the youngest players is the discipline. Am I showing up on time? Do I make every one of my practice sessions? If I have 4 sessions a week, am I there 4 times a week, or am I blowing off 1 or 2 of them because of something else? A player that doesn't have those discipline thoughts in the game is going to unravel when things go difficult. When they're in the back and they're in possession in a game and their keeper rolls the ball out to them rather than punting it down the field, and there's 2 minutes left and they're down by a goal and the parents are screaming to kick that ball forward, are they still going to possess through their midfield? The players that are disciplined will. They understand the expectations, they understand what they need to do to accomplish the end goal. And so that all starts with getting them in more often. The second stage for us was the nurturing stage. And really, in many respects, that's where you teach. So the coaches that we have at that age are really doing the X's and O's. They're sitting down and teaching players formations and what it means to play in this shape versus that shape. And so we really focus at the 12, 13, 14-year-old ages of, let's teach them how to play the right way. Let's show them what's appropriate and what's not given certain circumstances in the game. But the focus is never going to be on winning. It's always going to be on individual ability. What can that one player do in that moment to help his or her team be successful? And then the final stage of our philosophy is really that advancement stage. And in many respects, when you get to the older ages, the games seem to feel more important. You know, you have more people watching those games, and so the desire to win those games is at its all-time high. The discipline that you create when they're 9, 10, and 11 is a discipline you really call upon in that final stage, because it cannot be, let's do whatever it takes to win this game. It needs to be still about, what can I do as an individual player in this moment to make my team better? And if you keep that philosophy intact, I think young players will win games, but they'll win games the right way, and they'll win games the Riverhounds way. And that's something that we're very, very in tune with all the time. It's just, can we take a player and put them into a situation where they're uncomfortable, but they can still be successful?